Welcome back to the Excellent Laborer channel. This is Josh. So today's 109 of the house building project, and it was the first day they got started doing drywall. The hangers came in and they got started. And man, I'll tell you what, it wasn't a awesome first day. It could have been better. This is my temporary door. They just had something up here to keep the cold air from coming in. And it's just temporary. You know, we'll obviously cover up the garage door here soon when they get into the garage. But anyways, so they come in and get started. And this was before I even got here. And they got a couple pieces of drywall in the ceilings and just got pretty good start there. And so I come in, introduce myself because I haven't met these guys yet, because I don't know if they're subcontracted through the actual drywall guy I got. I'm not sure. But anyways, so they're like, hey, do you have any clear kerosene? And I was like, what do you mean clear kerosene? Because I've never used kerosene. And supposedly they make a clear kerosene. I don't know if every kerosene's clear nowadays. I have no idea. But they said they need it because they're going to have to heat the house as they're working, which I assume they would. And I was just going to kick on the emergency heat and put some filters in the HVAC. But they preferred to have that, I guess, because without having the drywall up here on the ceilings, obviously all your heat goes out this ridge here. So you need some kind of barrier to keep it in, like drywall. And then after drywall goes up, then you blow in the insulation and it keeps the house warm. But anyways, so I go down looking for clear kerosene, called Tractor Supply, because I never really dealt with it. Called Sheets. They said they didn't have clear kerosene here where I'm at the Sheets, so I was really surprised. I thought it was a pretty common thing at about every gas station. So I ran out, went to the store locally, and the first one I stopped at, they're like, oh yeah, we don't have clear kerosene. And I was like, bummer. Here I'm thinking, this ain't gonna work out. So I just happened, because I was out looking, stopped at the next store. So the next store I stopped at had the clear kerosene. So that was great. So went ahead, took their kerosene can, filled up, and brought it back to them. And we kept the heat going, kept the house nice and warm. Because when they're hanging, when they put these screws in, there's glue behind the drywall that sets up and needs to be warm to set up. And it keeps the drywall really snug onto the wood. So you really want your house to be warm when you hang drywall. So anyways, so they did that, and then got to talking to them. I was like, hey, you mind checking out? I ordered all this 5/8 drywall, because you got to have 5/8 between. Here, I'll walk back and show you. So you got to have 5/8 between any living space from the garage. So it's only for the walls bordering living space. For instance, this wall here, the garage is on the other side. So I'll show you what that's all about. So let me move my little temporary door again. So by code, you're supposed to have drywall on this wall and this wall, because there's living space on the other side. And you don't need it on the ceiling because there's no living space above. Only thing that's going to be up there is just extra storage or anything like that. So I was like, hey, I got 10 sheets of this 5/8 8-foot drywall. Is that going to be enough? And I had the 54-inch drywall, but it wasn't fire rated. And I got to thinking, I was like, man, I thought for sure I put that on my list to get the 12-foot 5/8 drywall 54-inch. So I looked on my list, it was there. And I was like, why in the world isn't it here? So I looked at the order that I signed off on, and lo and behold, that was not on the order, and they already delivered it. Then I'd have another delivery charge if I went down and called and ordered it and had them deliver it. So I was like, shucks. So I called the company I got drywall from, and I was like, hey, there might have been a mistake. I ordered this drywall, and I got to look at the list. I sent the salesman, and it just happened. I think he missed it, but I signed off on the order, and I missed it. I was like, hey, is there anything you do? Well, they were great about it. They're like, hey, if our salesman missed it and you put on a list and you just happened to miss it, that's awesome. It was Capital Building Supply. he was like, we'll treat you right. We'll go ahead, and even if it's only 10 sheets or so, we'll get it delivered. And I was like, all right, that'd be great. Well, let me talk to the guys hanging the drywall, because they said they wanted to calculate it all up and see if how much exactly I needed. So I was like, I'll call you back with that number. So called them back, so they calculated up the number of drywall needed, and lo and behold, it was only 3 sheets short, because I calculated for fire rated on the ceiling, and I didn't need fire rated on the ceiling, so I actually had more than I needed. So I was like, sweet, that's a win. So what I did is called my local hardware store and asked them, hey, my guys are up here, these guys are up here hanging drywall, and it looks like they're going to be short the 5/8 fire rate. Y'all have any? And this place is local, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes they have stuff, sometimes they don't. They're pretty good though. Their prices are comparable, but they're still higher for convenience, because the nearest big box store or any big company that sells building material would be about an hour away, 45 minutes, so that wasn't feasible. So he had the guys go back and check when I was on the phone with them, and lo and behold, they had 5/8 8-foot drywall and way more than 3 pieces. I only needed 3 pieces. So I ran down there, picked up the 3 pieces, came back, dropped it off. Those guys were happy, but the truth of it is they won't need that 5/8 drywall probably until I think Friday, maybe, because Christmas is coming up soon, and I don't think they're going to work Christmas, so they're going to have to take a couple days off there. But so they'll be finishing up hanging by Friday, hopefully. Which, if it's early next week, it doesn't matter to me. I'm really in no huge rush. It's not like someone's biting at the bit to get in here or anything like that. So I was just wanting to show you around. So they got the ceilings done. Not too shabby in this bedroom. So the key is get your ceilings hung first, especially in wintertime. So that way you can go and have the insulator come back, and then the insulator can blow in all the insulation. So you really have an insulated house to work in the wintertime. So that's why you'll see all these ceilings, nothing on the walls, because we're trying to get the ceilings done so they can come back in. And I'll show you here. And you got to leave a little access. Remember that access hole from the last video I made? There it is with drywall in it, or drywall around it. So that's where the insulator is going to have to crawl up through to blow it in. And you can see the ceilings here. Ceilings all done. Now this room, they did go ahead and decide to throw up some sheets. I'll go and walk back in there and show you guys. But if you look in this room, you see there they went ahead and threw some on the walls, on the ceiling, and in this closet. So I think they're just trying to knock it out real quick while they're in there. And another thing too I wanted to show you is, see this here? You put the green in the bathrooms. That's that MR board I was telling you about. And it's moisture resistant. So yeah, out here they just threw some on this wall, but they didn't have their scaffold or some kind of step up bench or something they were talking about to start here. So they went ahead and just hung all the 8-foot ceilings, and then got started back in this wall. And then the garage, like I showed you earlier, they haven't done anything on the garage yet. So, but yeah, while they were doing that, I had to put in a couple nailers I missed when I was framing. One's up here, see up there, had to put that nailer in, and then over in this corner, had to put one over there too. There was just one other truss I had to put one on for them. So yeah, so that was day 109, and I'm thinking that if they get all this drywall hung by this end of this week, then hopefully only a couple weeks finishing. I'm not sure how many guys are with this company to finish, but hopefully between this week and next, or hopefully between this week and 2 more weeks, all the drywall will be done. Then I can get back just hardcore painting and all that type of stuff. And after painting, we're going to be doing the floor and this and that. So hey, you know, once you start seeing drywall go up, it's way more exciting. You see it getting closed in, especially for winter time. That's why I really only want to start a house in the spring, so that way you're boxed in by the winter time and you're able to do this, because it'd suck to be in the middle of winter and you're still trying to run wires and plumbing and all that, because the wires and the plumbing get really stiff and hard to work with. So hey, and if you want to subscribe and keep following this vlog of mine building the house, that'd be awesome. And until next time, I'll see you on day 110, but it might be a little while. I might have to do some kind of simple how-to videos to keep the channel going. But, you know, never know. Might just have to do some updates and this and that, and not really call it a day of me working, but just updates. But today, I did work on it, so I'm going to call this day 109. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on day 110.